we got Lance Henriksen put our show up on his social media because he's really good friends now with Lance Henriksen. Sean and I interviewed Lance Henriksen on our show. We got along with him well, so that kind of was a good push.
So we got a huge push on the show, haven't we?
We got a huge push on the show. It went over really well. All right, Peter, well, we're on the road heading to a barn here in rural British Columbia. What do you got lined up for us today?
So we're off to Dee's place. She bought a barn a few years ago, and she's having a lot of problems with it. The reason why it's kind of spiked my interest is things that she's having going on is identical to a case that I had probably about 10 years ago. There's definitely a phenomenon behind it, and it'll be interesting to see what we can unravel here. You can hear Jason in the background. This is a classic example of possession.
All right, well, the first thing that really strikes me about the barn is that when you think of going to a allegedly haunted place called a barn, that you're going to get, bloody hay and scythes and that kind of thing. But the barn, Dee's barn, was the exact opposite of that.
For this particular place, all I had was an address. I didn't know the story behind it. I didn't know what it was, where it was, just old barn. That's what I heard.
9 years ago, I drove by this place and my hair stood on end. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to own this property.
As far as Dee, I believe she thinks something is happening to her. Totally cool with that. Very nice lady, super hospitable, great place, great business. Can't say enough good things about that. No idea what the alleged haunting was.
And I would say about 1.5 years ago, I started experiencing some unique things that had never happened to me in the past. So where I first started the most activity, the weirdest thing was probably in this area here. Okay, I originally would come in here with something to eat after an event just to chill out, and all of a sudden water droplets would be falling on me. And because it's an old barn, but there's 3 levels, and as we go up you'll see there's 3 different levels of protection, so that there's no possibility
of water
at all
seeping through.
that it could have been rain, condensation, none of the above.
So as we were following her through the description of what's been happening, when it actually hit, I laughed inside, and I had to actually walk out of the room. I was actually filming her description of what was going on, and I had trouble with it. I mean, I have trouble with a lot of this because I don't believe. So this particular one was just a little bit, I've never heard anything like it.
So I thought it was isolated circumstances to here, because this is where it started. But then it followed me. Like, it would follow me to the kitchen when I was cooking. I would have intense water droplets. I would notice it at my office at work, and then I would notice it sometimes in the car when I was driving, and then I would go to my parents' house and it would happen.
She's having this happen not just here, but elsewhere. And from a paranormal perspective, that could lead to, as Jen said, ideas of attachment.
It was a beautiful, beautiful summer day, and my mom was sitting right beside me, and swoosh, like water here, and I rarely get water on my leg, but it was so much water that it was on my leg for the first time, and my mom just happened to be sitting there.
I didn't really feel like there was a lot kind of going on, and then I found out that a lot of the activity seems to be attached to Dee herself.
How often do they happen?
At least once a week, at least.
Is it a specific day of the week at a specific time, or is it periodic?
It's all related to food. I
Wow.
can't explain it to you. I have no idea, but it only happens when I'm eating or preparing food. It does not happen without food.
So it sounds like to me that it's obviously roaming around you.
And the other thing that I do experience is I have a whiff of cigarette smoke, just strong, for about 30 seconds. That is right in front of me, and then poof, it's gone.
Is it in a particular area in the barn or anywhere in the barn?
A lot of it's mostly right here.
Okay.
And sometimes when I'm in that workstation area, I smell it, but it's mostly right in here.
Okay, good. Yeah, if you'd like to carry on and show us around.
Okay. Oops. We're gonna go upstairs, so I will. I'll just go up and open everything up.
So cool.
Climbing up glass.
He had chicken pens up here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I don't know, it was years and years and years of
Faces and
exactly. So for anybody that's brave that wants to go on the ladder, I'll flip it open. And this is why I say my reservations are only a quarter way done, because I want to eventually be able to expose these ceilings if I stay. Okay, who's going first? So you can go right up and look all the way around, especially behind you.
oh, wow.
Peter,
Yep.
take this and just do a pan around with it. Police?
3 police cars.
Next time on We Want to Believe. But apparently when we were inside, the police showed up.
Definitely a first for me, and I'm sure for a lot of the other investigators.
Police?
3 police cars.
So apparently the police were called. We'll see what that reads when we get outside.
I guess somebody driving by the property thought that our camera and other equipment were firearms.
Did you guys get 5-0 called on us?
Apparently, someone was in a shooting stance, facing towards the highway or somewhere at some point. So I guess this
Looked like a gun?
black object they can't see, and we're doing this.
Oh,
Down?
Jesus.
No, I definitely was over there, and I
Somebody
was
drove
bent
by
down,
and
and I was
said
like
they
taking
saw
a picture of
people
the
here
thing
with
next to
guns
it.
out.
We were standing over towards the dock, and we just saw the cop cars pulling into the driveway, and we had no idea what was going on. It was just a total surprise.
We were kind of stormed by police. 5 police cars showed up and flew down the road, and I came walking up, and I deal in my profession with the police a lot, so I kind of know what they're expecting. I held up my camera, I take my sunglasses off, I'm readily available for identification, and I asked, what's going on, and they proceed to tell us that they received calls, as this barn is a business located off a main road where it's visible by the main road, and someone had reported to the police that they had seen someone on the road shooting at vehicles with a gun.
Quite funny considering the nature of why they turned up outside. Apparently, according to the cops, we were spotted by the roadside carrying guns.
And apparently it was just something as simple as like misinterpreting that like this camera looked like a black object, maybe a gun.
Once we explained our scenario, they seemed to calm down a bit. We explained who we were, what we were doing there.
Took the younger cop, the cute cop, ran the back of the truck, and I showed him my equipment. I did do that.
Pretty sure we got to have a fan out of one of them who is now watching our show.
Peter had brought along Jen, who's a friend of his, who's also an alleged psychic. We're ghost hunting show, and sooner or later you got to bring in a psychic, right? There's a stereotypical image of what psychics are, how they look, old ladies, scraggly hair, cats, parrot on her shoulder. Jen was a complete opposite of that.
My name is Jen, and I'm a psychic medium. I've been aware of the spirit world since the age of 5.
It was interesting having Jen here as a psychic. Like I said, I'm not 100% sold on psychic phenomena, but Peter believes in her.
We brought Jen in. Jen's a very good friend of mine. I very, very much believe in her abilities of being a psychic medium.
What she was able to tell us about the location after we had done our walkthrough was really, really interesting.
So there's a female here who's just thrilled, to be here. I almost feel like it is her own space. It's her own space. This is her space, or she claims it her space. I'd say 5'4" to 5'6". Very slight build. She's tiny, and she has her hair up top. Looks like some curl or some puff up top, and she's got the rest pulled back, or either it's pulled back. Thank you. It's pulled back. She has duties, and she feels at this place she has duties to fulfill. Like I said, it feels like this is her space, and she's very proud of it. And she's very busy. Kitchen back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. In the rooms, back and forth. I feel her more down here, but as a hostess, she would take you upstairs and show you around, but she's telling me that her work is down here. Don't really get too much in here, actually. The energy is very different in here.
Do you think it's someone or a lady that's inherited the building, i.e. that she's just stumbled upon it?
I don't think there's familiarity. So it's not just somebody who's walked through. Very outgoing, very chatty, but very much a homebody in the sense of like June Cleaver. If you go to her home, she's going to make you feel comfortable, and she wants you to feel comfortable. She's going to take care of you. And that's very much what this lady does. She's just busy from here to here, here to here, here to here. She's got the apron on. There is a male too, but I'm having a hard time bringing him in. It's the gentleman, if I can call him that was with me this morning. He's still keeping a distance, so I'm having a hard time figuring out if he's just here to be here or if he's here, part of this. So this space in here, right, this looks like a dressing room, it's a bathroom. Her voice, people hear her voice. It's a female voice that they hear. If somebody was in here, I feel they would have heard female voice or would have heard female voice in this area. Just because this is her area. And plus being with water is a conduit. I'm just hesitant to go up there. It's not that it feels negative, I just feel that it's somebody's space that wants to be, I don't know if I'm right to say, left alone.
We're about to get ready to head into the barn. So 2 teams going in at 2 different times. It'll be interesting, I've never done it quite that way before. So we've moved into the bedroom area where Dee has experienced, she says, most of the phenomena, especially the water. Can you make some water materialize or knock on something?
Okay, is there anybody in the room with us?
So we're going to finish our session here in the back room. We still haven't made it upstairs, but Peter and company are going to be coming in next. Yeah, so far that first session that we did didn't result in much of anything. A little bit of cold, but that's about it.
Anything?
Nothing.
Well, we're going there.
My name's Peter, and I'm with
Jen?
Marcus?
Sean?
If there's anyone here, can you please step forward? We wish you no harm and no harm to come to us. We're just here to communicate with you. If you could start off, please, by telling us your name. Ah, the battery died! Fuck! Sorry, don't put it on there.
Wait, mate, just got to the UV paint, the battery died.
Oh no!
So we can go in then?
Yeah. Sorry, I was getting all excited.
There might be something that Peter captured, but the battery died just before he was about to show us.
Oh,
Would you like us to leave?
Would you like us to leave?
No?
No.
It was just down there.
Yeah.
No. Usually it's get out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, right.
Sounds like a woman.
I was gonna say it's female.
Would you like us to leave? Would you like us to leave?
There's a lot of correlation in what Jen said.
It definitely merits further investigation. I would love to go back and do a longer investigation, a little bit more thorough, just to see what's really going on there.
In this field, you can't discount anything outright, and you shouldn't accept anything outright either. So one day we will return to the barn. Next time on We Want to Believe.
There has been one report of a fatality upstairs. One of the previous owners died in the house.